Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Love Cup. We're going to take a look at the meta in general in a simplified way and also the best teams I built for this cup. So let's start right into the video. But first, if you can subscribe or like this video, it helps me out way more than you think. But let's go right into the meta. And here we're going to see a simplified graphic for the current meta of the Love Cup. It looks like a little bit weird or wild, but I'm just gonna explain a little bit. We're gonna have in the middle the say swaps. Those Pokemon don't really have any affliction with the other Pokemon. They're good as a say swap. They're good kind of neutral. For example, Lickitung can destroy nearly everything here other than the Scrafty. Even against the Medicham it's decent. So in the middle there's the say swaps. Top we have the water Pokemon. Left side we have the fire Pokemon. Bottom we have the fairy type Pokemon with charm usually. And on the right side we have the fighter. They basically have this circle thing going on there that, for example, the water types actually get very easily beaten by the fighting types. The water types beat the fire types. Fire beats charm and charm beats fighting. So you have basically a circle around. And then you see always in the corner a core breaker for those two nearest pools of Pokemon. For example, Seeking having access to Poison Jab, Ice Wind, and Drill One destroying the fire type Pokemon and the fairy type Pokemon thanks to the Poison Jab, being a core breaker for those two cores. The Dredagon being the only Dragon type that is usable in this cup, being able to destroy fire types because you resist the moves and water types because you resist the moves, is kind of unique in the core breaker. On the top right you see the Slowpoke and the Medicham. This is kind of situational. Medicham breaks the water plus Scrafty core, while Slowpoke beats the water and Medicham core. Instead of Slowpoke you can also use Slowbro. And on the bottom right is actually a Pokemon I'm mostly excited of. It's gonna be the Galarian version of the Slowbro, because this thing has Poison Jab and has a typing that double resists the fighting type moves. You're gonna be able to destroy completely the fairy types and the fighting types. So yeah, this is basically the meta analysis for me here at this point of time. You see core breaker, you see the single cores that you have to build, you see how they all affect each other, you have the say stuff in the middle. It's pretty simple to look at and I think it's a pretty nice graphic. Took me a while to do this, but hope you enjoyed this. Let's go right into the teams. The first team gonna be Talonflame in the lead. We have the Lickitung or the Electrode as a say swap, and then the Medicham or the Milotic in the back. Here in this case I would actually go for Dragon Tail Milotic, Waterfall Milotic, also has a lot of play in this current meta, but for this team specifically I would go for Dragon Tail. Main reason for that, Dragon Tail usually is really bad against the charm users. You have already a lead that's completely hard countering charm users. You have a say swap that should get the charm user out, and also Dragon Tail beats the Molar a little bit better. In general, the Milotic is a cheaper version, or in general a different version for water type in this meta, which is really cool. So for me, it does make a lot of sense. You can choose either which you want to have a say swap, Lickitung or Electrode, whatever you have, and then Medicham or the other Pokemon like the Milotic in the back. So this can be a cheap team if you go for the Talonflame, Electrode, Milotic team, or it can be an expensive team if you go for Talonflame, Lickitung plus the fighting type. The second team is basically a very similar setup. Again, we have the water types now in the lead. We have a say swap out of the safe swap category, and we have two Pokemon in the back that are weak to fire types. So yeah, two possible Pokemon here, actually only one then in total. But yeah, you have the water type in the lead, you have a say swap that should get out the fire type. I think Lickitung is a little bit better here depending on how you play and what you encounter. Fighting types might be a little bit tough if you have a weakly tough, if you have the Lickitung as a say swap. But otherwise you should be fine. In the back you can decide. Wigglytuff is most likely a little bit better than Wormadam. You can also use Wormadam as a say swap here, actually, if you really want to. Also would work to get out the fire types. Totally, definitely gonna work. But yeah, if they have, for example, the Talonflame, they can just farm it down, which is maybe not the best. But here, basically you want to try out to get the fire type with the say swap. You have a water type in the lead that just can destroy the fire type. I would go for Waterfall here on the Milotic now. And then you have something that doesn't want to see fire types in the back. So a very simple team again. The third team also gonna be a little bit more of a standard team, and you also have again the same sales swaps there with Electrode and Lickitung. This will change after this. These are just like those basic meta teams that are very well balanced and are basically based on the course I already showed you before in the analysis video there. And here we have like the fighting types in the lead that are actually pretty decent against the water types. You have something as a sales swap that's decent against water types, and then you have something in the back that is decent against fire types. So, example, if you use Scrafty, you don't really want to face something like the Medicham, so you have something in the back that can deal with that with the fire flying Pokemon in the back. And if you run Scrafty in the lead, I would recommend you to go for Electrode as a sales swap, because then you don't have the double weakness against fighting types, but actually the only other fighting type is Medicham anyway, so against Medicham, Lickitung also can do the job. So these are like those basic meta teams that everybody gonna run anyway, and they are very well balanced. Now we're gonna go for some other team versions here now. And in the next team, we're gonna have a team with Magcargo. By the way, look at this gif of Magcargo, it looks so good. Holy hell, didn't notice this before. But here we actually have Electrode again, so I was lying before. But you can also use any other water type there, for example, because like Magcargo doesn't like water types. Magcargo is good against fairy types, and yeah, also good against the Talonflame. So we have two Pokemon in the back with the Wigglytuff and the Medicham that don't really like to see Talonflame at all. And we can counter this Talonflame with the Magcargo. You, by the way, want to run Rock Tomb on Magcargo instead of the Stone Edge, which I usually would recommend you to run, because Rock Tomb is enough to KO Talonflame anyway, and I don't think you really need the damage otherwise. So yeah, Overheat Rock Tomb I think is better here in this case. And yeah, you have the water types or the Electrode as a sales swap and something in the back that just is like the core is basically the main thing always. Like you kind of want to have a good sales swap that can deal damage against a lot of other Pokemon. Water types here don't really have a great hard counter. Electric type have no hard counter at all, by the way. There's not a single ground type really in the meta right now. And then you have like this core of the like little Magcargo and the fighting type or the fairy type in the back, which both should work out pretty well. Of course, both fighter and fairy types in the back also deal with the weakness of Magcargo, which is mainly fighting types in this meta. In this team, we're gonna have a Pokemon which I see a lot of potential in this current cup, and it's very funny and spicy. It's gonna be Slowbro. Slowbro is able to beat Medicham easily, is able to beat water types easily, is able to beat all the fire types easily. So this thing seems very, very decent in the current meta, and I think there's gonna be such a good Pokemon, and I think you can run it easily also here as a sales swap, because there are only really two Pokemon that it doesn't really want to encounter. Those two Pokemon are, I think, Scrafty and Wormadam, and this is basically it. The rest of it can basically deal with it. So I think this Pokemon gonna be the sleeper pick of this cup. Slowbro looks so good, and I think this thing gonna be meta. I think you should try to get one if you want to build like something funny that is really decent. Yeah, normal Slowbro gonna be good, Galarian Slowbro gonna be good. It's gonna be the meta of the Slowbros. And again, pretty similar team actually to what we had already before, but here Galarian Slowbro is as well really good right now. Beating fairy types, beating fighting types, having a very neutral matchup against nearly everything else is gonna be so nice. And having the nuke as well with the Focus Blast is against something, for example, like the Magcargo if it comes in, gonna be like so nice. And yeah, I'm very hyped for this thing. So yeah, gonna be a very cool Pokemon here as a sales swap. Again, the core that I had before already with the Magcargo lead and the Medicham in the back, both of them should be pretty decent. That should be a good team. The next team gonna be Scrafty Double Water. And I think Double Water team is gonna be very decent in this current meta as well, because there's not a lot of things that really counter water types like hard. There's like only really one Pokemon, which I'm also gonna have in a team later on, which can counter water types pretty hard, I think. But even then, like this Pokemon are also a little bit squishy. Like water type's gonna be very strong. Here, two Waterfall users, I would put Waterfall in both of them, because otherwise Fairy type's gonna be a little bit of a nightmare for you. But it's two super bulky Pokemon. I would go for the Milotic as a sales swap there, and you should be pretty fine. Scrafty in the lead, you can also run something else on lead. I think Medicham should be also still fine there. But yeah, I think this team gonna be very insane, or in general, like double water gonna be very good in the current meta. There's not a lot of things that really counter that. The second to last team gonna be a team that you can run if you really want to annoy your opponents, because we have the bulkiest water Pokemon, we have the bulkiest normal type Pokemon, and we have like a very bulky fairy type Pokemon in the back. I don't want to know the HP stat of all of them together. I think it's over 1000. So yeah. This is gonna be a lot of fun playing against this, but this is sadly possible. You can also, like, what you can do here is like the Alamo Molar and the lead. You can use also the Lickitung as a safe swap and Chansey in the back. You can use Chansey as a safe swap and the Wigglytuff in the back. You can use Lickitung as a safe swap and the Wigglytuff in the back, whatever you want. You can, but yeah, you can also just use both of the Pokemon that I currently have in the safe swap position here as the Pokemon in the back. Also totally fine. But yeah, this team is about annoying your opponent and winning by timeout, which is not really a fun strategy, but here we go. I guess you can play like this. And into the last team, we're gonna have a team around Drillbur, and this is a Pokemon that I'm actually very curious about. I'm definitely gonna try to showcase that as well. But yeah, we have Drillbur double fire. With this thing is basically it's always only good against the Pokemon that it actually has a type effectiveness against, or like resist something, for example fire and water type, but those it just completely destroys. But it has like problems against other Pokemon. So here the thing is, if you encounter a fighting type lead, maybe the what's called the Magcargo on the back isn't the best. So like I could also see this team as the Drillbur plus the Charizard safe swap and then the Talonflame in the back. I think that might be even a better team. But here you can also run the Talonflame as a safe swap, because Talonflame has access to Brave Bird. Can you even like Lumomola doesn't really want to face what's called a Brave Bird there. So like you should be able to do some sort of damage with that. Of course, fire types resist the Charmeleons, which is really good for you. So I think maybe even with Charizard it's a little bit better, but in general I think this might have a lot of play. And the Drillbur seems very unique as it's going to be able to destroy fire and water type Pokemon. And those are basically what the meta is about. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun team. Thanks all for watching this video. Leave a like if you haven't. I hope you have a great rest of your day and good luck in the Love Cup, and see you next video.